Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be giving my match predictions for week 35 Premier League fixtures. And I know I'm upset as well, and I'm angry that the season's coming to an end because we only have 3 or 4 games left or so, but we are coming to the business end of the season and we're going to see some great games which are going to be decisive for not only the relegation fight, not only the top 4 fight, but even the Premier League title race. We got some amazing fixtures. We got Newcastle versus Liverpool. Newcastle have been on an absolute tear winning their last 3 games. We know Liverpool need the 3 points to catch up with Manchester City in terms of the title race. We also got Leeds versus Manchester City is going to be a decisive game, not only in terms of the Premier League title race, but even for Leeds fans, they're going to be biting their nose. The Premier League relegation fight is not over just yet because mathematically they are not safe. We also got a London derby between West Ham versus Arsenal. So like I said, let's look for goals, drama and entertainment like I always say. But before going into the video and give my predictions, you know what I'm going to say. Make sure you guys like, comment and hit that big subscribe button right there, because only like 10 to 8% of you guys are actually subscribed to my channel. So please hit the subscribe channel, it will help my channel grow. And yes, give me your predictions in the comment section. Who do you think is going to win in week 35? So the first game we're going to be predicting is West Ham versus Arsenal, and this is going to be a decisive game for the top 4 battle for the Champions League spots this season. We got Arsenal, who are in the catbird seats, literally sitting in the 4th place right now, and we got West Ham, although they have their eyes and attention on the Europa League, they won't give up hope that potentially they can sneak into the top 4 race this season as well. And in terms of this game, let me just start with Arsenal. And for Arsenal fans, even Arsenal manager Arteta, they'll probably be saying it's about damn time they've got 2 victories in a row. Because before the victory against Chelsea and Manchester United, 2 teams you wouldn't really expect them to beat considering their poor form, they lost to teams like Southampton, they lost to teams like Crystal Palace, teams they really should be beating, even Brighton, teams who are pretty much on the seaside, not even thinking about this season because they're mid-table, not much to play for. But somehow, unpredictably so, like always, Arsenal showed up in those 2 games against Chelsea and Manchester United, and not only won those games, they won convincingly, scoring 7 goals in their last 2 games. And what I like about those performances is for reasons I gave doubt that Arsenal would potentially finish in the Champions League spot this season. The senior players for Arsenal rolled up their sleeves and actually stepped up. Arsenal all season have been relying on players like Odegaard, the young stars like Saka, Martinelli to get the results through with those all-important goals, but the senior experienced players finally stepped up. Players like Xhaka, players like El Neni gave Arsenal a great base to build upon in the games against Chelsea and Manchester United, where I feel like those 2 are the best midfielders on the pitch. Other players stepped up like Nketiah, players who also know that they're leaving in the summer like El Neni and Nketiah. So always great, always rosy, and the Arsenal players must be filled with so much confidence going in this game against West Ham, even though the Arsenal fans and the players will know it's going to be a tough battle at the London Stadium, because West Ham under David Moyes, they are being solid, especially against the better teams in the league. And Arsenal should be happy and should be thrilled that they're facing West Ham at this moment of time, because they're versing a team who aren't going to be motivated, who don't really have the eyes on the prize to finish in the top 4 race this season, because they are focused on the other intentions of winning the Europa League. They're facing obviously Frankfurt midweek, so they're going to have their eyes on that game. And will David Moyes really fill out a strong side in this game against Arsenal, knowing that players like Declan Rice and Antonio and Souček are going to be crucial in the games against Frankfurt to help West Ham reach their first European final in God knows how long? So these are all tough decisions for David Moyes, and if we take any history considering going into this game against Arsenal, we would know that David Moyes will likely rest his key important players, because that's what he literally did against Chelsea. He didn't play Declan Rice, he didn't play Bowen, and he didn't even play Antonio. So Arsenal, come on man, you're not only better than West Ham in terms of quality right now, but surely West Ham are going to be such a weak side that you should be able to pick them apart. West Ham don't even have more than 1 fit centre-back in their squad right now to play. And that 1 fit centre-back they do have is Craig Dawson, and he's going to be suspended for this game because he got a red card against Chelsea. So Arsenal's forward players, their informed players, they should really be looking to take apart West Ham and actually win this game. Arsenal are facing off a weak West Ham side, and they should win this game 2-0. So the next game I'm going to be predicting is Newcastle versus Liverpool. And like I said in my introduction, Liverpool need the 3 points to continue to put the pressure on Manchester City in terms of the Premier League title race this season. However, as a Liverpool fan and Liverpool fans in general, they're not going to be under any disillusion that this game against Newcastle is going to be a walk in the park. Newcastle have been playing outstanding football, especially at St James's Park, where it feels like the fans are really involved and really backing the team at the moment, because they can finally back a product on the pitch who are performing with passion, heart and desire throughout the whole of the 90 minutes. Newcastle have won 3 games in a row, and we know Eddie Howe have transformed that side, bringing great new players like Bruno Guimaraes, who've been playing outstanding, scoring goals and assists in his last couple of games. He really embodies what it feels like to be a Newcastle player, and the fans have really taken a liking to him. Players like St Maximum, obviously returning from injury, hasn't been performing well, and that's the key point, because earlier in the season we know Newcastle heavily relied on St Maximum to get them the joy, the creativity and the goals, but it feels like he's teasing in form, but other players have really been stepping up. Joe Linton thriving in that new role as a midfielder, going box to box with Willock, willing powerful runners who have quick pace as well to go end to end in terms of the opposition's box back into their own box. They also have other good players as well, like David Byrne, who's been marshalling the back line, providing stability in terms of Newcastle defensively. So all is rosy at Newcastle and St James's Park. I know right now Newcastle aren't playing for much because they're pretty much safe from relegation, but I'm telling you, St James's Park is going to cause a massive atmosphere, knowing that their team is finally playing well. So going this game, they're not going to be scared of Liverpool. And with the players they have, the personnel, I feel that's going to be suited for them to play counter-attacking football and potentially punish Liverpool's extremely high line. But going in this game, I cannot doubt Liverpool, because we have seen different occasions, different games. It doesn't matter if they're playing free-flowing football and beat teams at 3 or 4 goals, or they have to roll their sleeves up and be tough and physical like the fierce battle they just had with the Merseyside competitors, Everton, and beating them 2-0. Liverpool have different ways, different methods to win games, and I feel like Liverpool will not shrink from the big occasion against Newcastle, knowing that it's going to be a hostile environment to walk in terms of St James's Park, because Liverpool have the players who have the experience and the know-how to literally go through these games and get the win. And literally, if they're not playing at the best, they know how to grind out the result. Liverpool obviously have the midweek game against Villarreal, and the players may be tired going into this game against St James Park, but Liverpool have proven they have the squad depth to deal with this. Players like Diaz, players like Firmino, Jota, whoever doesn't really start in the game against Villarreal will be able to provide fresh legs, fresh energy and world-class play in this game to get the job done against Newcastle. Obviously the midfield, Liverpool just look like a Man City now, a squad with depth to deal with the hardships of a season when the players are tired, and we have seen it all season in the Carabao Cup, going to the final of the FA Cup and the semi-finals of the Champions League. The players have the mentality and we have the depth to deal with this sort of relentless fixture after fixture. So going this game, I think Liverpool will win. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, because we know against Liverpool and Newcastle, this game always provides us goals. So going this game, I'm going to be predicting a 3-1 victory for the Wayside Liverpool FC. So the next game I'm going to be predicting is Leeds versus Manchester City. And like I said earlier in this video, I know Manchester City are obviously pushing for the Premier League title race and they're looking to create distance between themselves and Liverpool, but Leeds desperately need the 3 points as well. Getting a gritty, great result against Crystal Palace away from home in London, a 0-0 result, a draw. Obviously the Leeds fans would have wanted a win, but obviously you can't complain because we know Crystal Palace have really been playing well under Patrick Vieira. But at the end of the day, Leeds are not mathematically safe at this moment. Yes, Jesse Marsch has come in, provided stability, provided great defensive awareness in his players, installed that sort of mentality in their team, and they've been a very tough outfit to beat. But at the end of the day, they still have Burnley, they still have Everton hunting them down right now in terms of the relegation fight. So Leeds, I know it's Manchester City and you're not the favourites, but somehow you need to pick up a result so you can keep Everton and Burnley at bay where they belong, below you. But like I said, obviously Manchester City have the better players, a better manager, but we know Leeds have been great under Jesse Marsch. Maybe not great, but good. Like I said earlier in the video, great defensive disability. Players like Liam Cooper, Ayling, showing the experience, showing the defensive awareness, have been able to make sure that Leeds have been tough to beat. We've seen in their last 2 games able to keep back-to-back clean sheets. And when was the last time Leeds were able to do that, especially under Bielsa? They're conceding 5 to 4 goals against teams you really think they shouldn't be conceding that many goals against. They were playing some lunacy, end-to-end football, high pressing, left themselves so vulnerable and open. But we know now that Jesse Marsch has literally shut that down, making sure that defensively That's the focus right now because we know they have the play to score goals, but we need to make sure that defensive football is a priority. But going this game, it's just going to be hard to bet against Manchester City. Look what they did to Watford. Dismantled them, put 5 past them. Players like Jesus in fine form, 4 goals, 1 assist, literally. Players like Kevin De Bruyne, great form as well. What a great pass to Jesus. We know how many world-class midfielders they have who always chip in. Morris is their top goal scorer, and we haven't really seen him in the last few games or so. So honestly, Manchester City have too much quality. They have the mentality, and we know when they get in the driver's seat in terms of a Premier League race, they do not let the grip go. 2013-14 against Liverpool, 2018-2019 against Liverpool, where Manchester City have a grip on that title, they make sure it's firm and stable, and they do not let go of that title. So going this game, I feel like Pep Guardiola is going to drill it in the players' heads that we cannot lose ground, or Liverpool will take over us in terms of the title race. And I feel like they have the creativity and the players who chip in goals to beat Leeds in this game. They've been in great form, like I said. And going in this game, I'm going to be predicting a 3-0 victory away from home for Manchester City. So the next game I'm going to be predicting is Watford versus Burnley. And what a crucial game this is in terms of the relegation battle this season. And we know Watford are pretty much relegated because they lost 5-1, have horrific goal difference. And we know they have, half a dozen points they need to get to actually at least compete to get out of the relegation zone. And we know games are running thin right now, only 4 to 5 games left. So Watford are pretty much out of this race, and it's pretty much down to Burnley, Everton and Leeds in this moment of time. So this gives Burnley even more motivation going this game, that we know Watford don't really need the 3 points right now because they're all done and dusted in terms of the relegation fight. So Burnley just want it more, and this alone should pretty much seal them the result. Shouldn't it? But obviously history may repeat itself, because we have seen when Burnley have been in a commanding position when it comes to the relegation fight, literally 2 to 3 weeks ago when they had the epic thriller against Everton winning 3-2. And what did they do the next week again? They lost to Norwich 2-0, a team who have sealed their fate in terms of the relegation fight, pretty much bottom of the table right now. So Burnley, you can't really trust them. You can't really rely on them when the pressure's there and the expectations are high and the other team are literally gifting you the 3 points. They won't take it with conviction. They'll let the other team win, and we have seen it before. So I can't really trust Burnley that they'll be able to beat Watford, who are gone and dusted in terms of the relegation fight this season. However, I may have to add that Jackson, the interim manager for Burnley, has been a great spark, provided that new manager bounced back, because players are actually playing with intensity, energy and passion again. We have seen back-to-back good results. Going away to West Ham at the Olympic Stadium, getting a 1-1 draw is nothing to laugh about, even though I thought they should have won the game. And then also the game against Wolves, beating a very hard, resilient side who we know keep clean sheets. Burnley were able to win 1-0 in that game. So Burnley have been literally chopping at the bit and been getting positive results for the fans to get out the relegation fight. And we know Burnley, they're not going to blow teams away. They're still structured and defensive minded. But in this game, they have to get at least 1 goal to make sure that they can win this game, because goals wins you games. But surely against Watford, they should be winning this game. Watford have lost their last 4 to 5 games in a row, conceded 5 against Manchester City. Their heads have dropped, probably getting ready for the Championship next season. Some players probably emotionally checked out, thinking, how can I stay in the Premier League, get another move to another club? So surely Burnley should win this game, and I just will trust them away from home. 1-0 for the Carrot and Blue side, Burnley. So last game we're going to be predicting is Spurs versus Leicester, and we know, neutral fans, Spurs fans, fans all over the world, know that Tottenham desperately need the 3 points to put the pressure on Arsenal to try get into the top 4 place this season. And who would have thought that Spurs, after their epic, tremendous run, winning like 5 or 6 games out of 7, scoring goals for fun, Kulusevski, Son, Kane, many pundits and many fans were already going to announce that front three trio for Tottenham were the best in the Premier League right now. But what happened their last 2 games or so? Kane haven't even been able to register a shot on target. They haven't been a threat in the final third against teams, and they've literally fizzled out in terms of their offensive momentum trying to score goals. And who would have thought this was happening? Because in my last video, I said this. I was like, is this just a blip? Or is this Spurs being Spursy like they have always been in their history? When the pressure's there and the expectation rises, what do Spurs do? they choke. Spurs do just not have the toughness or the mentality to close deals out, and this is why they have left a back door open for Arsenal to potentially sneak in for the final 4th spot in terms of the Champions League places. So let's see if Spurs will be able to be reactionary and bounce back against Leicester, since especially they are home and they're versing a Leicester side who have been inconsistent and have been having key players injured throughout decisive moments. Let's see if Tottenham will be able to win, and surely against Leicester City they should be able to win. Surely they are facing the Leicester City side just like West Ham, who have European priorities. Brendan Rodgers trying to win the Conference League and potentially beat Roma in the semi-finals to advance to the final. So surely Rodgers will be resting his key important players in the game against Tottenham, because they don't have much to fight for in the Premier League now. They're sitting in mid-table, not doing much. So Spurs, just with the motivation and the goal in mind, they should be beating a Leicester side in this game. But like I said, when expectation rises, you just never know with Spurs, because they always falter. I can just never rely and trust them in important moments. So going in this game, I'm not going to be confident. I'm not going to say it with my chest, but I think Tottenham will just be able to grind out results. I'm not going to be confident, like I said, but I'm going to be predicting a hard, full-out victory for Spurs, potentially a Harry Kane winner, but a 2-1, not convincing victory, but a victory, and that's what all matters for Tottenham in this race.